resources. Resources win wars.
To win wars.
Next Wednesday.
We expanded. It's time we grew past LA.
You sure the best time for this is right now?
Some private.
What's going on, man? This is the Low Key Cave, Keyshawn Nam's YouTube page, aka Mr. Low Key, and we back with another Snowfall review. This is Snowfall Season 4, Episode 4 review expansion. Man, and y'all already know where I'm at with this. The way this episode ended. Let's get this out the way. Spoilers. Man, before I even get to the end of the episode, let's go to the beginning. We got Wanda, just trying to sell her tooth. And kind of with that, even with episode 3, we all kind of see Wanda, I ain't gonna say a transformation, but you kind of can tell that she's trying something. She's thinking somewhat, trying to get herself together. You can see it, a glimpse of it. You can see it. And I called it though. I definitely called it. I knew this is episode 4. Leon ain't about to go out in episode 4. This ain't fucking Game of Thrones, so I didn't think that was gonna happen. So just seeing how everything was going with the whole beginning, because you seen some of this stuff in the trailer, and when she called, she everybody else is fuck you, this and that third. When she see Leon, Wanda is always hey Lee. And Leon is going to always have a soft spot for Wanda. And just when you see her calling out his name, I said Wanda going to get shot. Like, it was just plain as day. I feel like, Wanda was going to get shot. I didn't think she was going to die. Well, I didn't really know if she was going to die or not. But I just felt like when you trying to, in these type of series or in these type of shows, when you trying to redeem yourself, that shit like a damn death calling. I'm telling you, bro, it's like this person gonna die because they trying to get their shit together. So, just seeing those aspects and understanding Leon and Wanda have a very, very strong connection. No matter what's going on between them two, Leon is always gonna be that person is gonna basically have Wanda's back, or at least be behind her in somewhat capacity. Now, as far as Leon and Franklin's relationship, I finally felt like this relationship kind of got that dent when Franklin went off on Leon in the car. You remember last season when Franklin kept coming at Manboy sideways, and Franklin went off on him in the car, and I think Leon just got to that position, because Leon was making moves. Leon was the nigga that caught the body first. Think about it, when that whole situation happened when old boy was trying to keep Franklin money, Leon caught that body because Franklin wasn't ready. Franklin has caught him a body though, he killed Andre, so a cop at that. But it's just the whole situation with Franklin and Leon, man. Being a fan of both of them, I hate to see them going through it, bro, because that's your day one. And the situation with Kevin, and it's looking real bad between those two. And I don't know if it's going to get fixed before the season over, or it's going to be one of those situations where something's going to happen to one of them. Franklin is like the main character of the show, but I'm just saying, but it's going to come to a situation where something's going to go on with Leon or something, I feel like, and they're not going to get to that chance. But, man, everything as far as with Oso and Teddy, you kind of see Teddy feeling, I ain't gonna say he's feeling comfortable, but he's just kind of like, man, this shit ain't gonna end no time soon. Like, he got that shit in his mind, like, we could do this forever. Like, this about, he told Franklin at the table when they talking and whatnot, because Franklin, Franklin and his mom, and I'm jumping over the place a little bit, excuse me, but, Franklin and his mom is sitting down with old boy. I don't think he the mayor or whatnot. I can't remember his name at this point, but you know who I'm talking about. It's the big dude who got the cop off Franklin and his mama. But you see them coming with this situation, and this guy pretty much telling them, like, I know y'all what y'all do. I know you do these drugs or whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, how can you do this, and how can you help me? And he's going to give them some type of project, I guess, to complete, to prove why he need to bring them into the circle or whatnot. And then you got everything going on, and shout out to Franklin Daddy, bro. Like, you had a whole situation going on with this reporter that's going around trying to get this information on Franklin and what's going on. And she basically, like, so one of her friends like, yo, you need to just go to the shelter again, talk to the daddy, blah blah blah. And like Franklin, dad, this nigga, you got to remember, this is a Black Panther. This dude was in the Black Panthers. He ain't stupid. You talking about informants and shit coming in and out or whatnot. So he like, nah. Said, don't come back around here. You come back, you ain't gonna get no answers. Like, I love that, because you see so many series where they put these guys in these positions and they climbing up and up the ladder, but you have situations where they still seem stupid, or why are you gonna make that dumb move? And with this show, I'm really appreciating how they making their characters not stupid. I mean, all of them, all around. These are smart people. Especially you got Franklin, like, cause he's not dumb. He asking these questions like, I mean, how long this shit supposed to really last? He like, I need an end game, and that's more so coming from his mama too, cause she's really wanting to be done with this shit. She wants to be legit, but everything that's going on, and you got the whole back to. I'm going back now to the whole Oso and Teddy situation, because once again, like I said at the beginning of the season when I first reviewed episodes 1 and 2, Teddy and Franklin have situations going on both angles. Oso and Teddy did what they did with the whole sheriff and whatever they had going on in Mexico with them, which I feel like it's still going to be some type of backlash from that. But they dealing with that, and they going to old boy about the guns, because they still didn't get the guns with the money being deposited. And you got Teddy, bro. Teddy is like, he looks strung out, bro. Like, you see he doing all this shit, and you had old buddy asking Teddy, like, man, you might need to take a break. Like, damn, nigga, how long have you been in this? And you know, we've been riding with Franklin and Teddy them for a long time, since season 1. And everything he done and came up with, like, man. And that's going into the whole situation back to this reporter. And now we got this DEA agent popping back up. You know, the DEA agent that was working with old girl, the other DEA agent that also shot. It's not funny, but the way, soon as she was just standing there, and you remember that season, it was last season, yeah. She also just walked there, bow. He ain't say shit. But man, back to season 4, Snowfall, you have this DEA agent coming back talking to this reporter. And now this reporter got all this information now. She pretty much see everything that's going on, because the DEA agent basically telling her, you ain't looking for Franklin. It's the person who's protecting Franklin. See, now you're going to have this reporter diving into this shit, and I'm telling you, this reporter better be careful, because Teddy get wind of this shit. She going to be, hey, the man that took out a DEA agent, he didn't take it out, but you know what I'm saying, he covered that shit up. The same thing with Franklin, when Teddy done covered every little angle or whatnot. And now, like I said, you have these two guys, Franklin and Teddy, in positions where they're trying to hold on to the organizations that they have been moving since the beginning of the seasons. Now, we have this whole situation going on, like I said, with this reporter, and she having all this information. What is going to be the outcome from that? That's going to be the thing too. And then we back to my boy Leon. Like I said, you have the situation going on with Leon, and you see now that Wanda's been shot. She's in the hospital, and they basically, after they, you know what I'm saying, trying to take care of her or whatnot, Leon got to pay a little extra money, because she ain't got no insurance or whatnot to keep her in the hospital. They're going to detox her. So now, this is the point where I'm like, is she going to get better? Is she going to come out of this situation? And is it going to be a situation where something happens to Leon, and then Wanda get her stuff together, and then she wants to help take Franklin out? I'm telling you, like, I feel like I see this shit coming. And I'm not talking about taking Franklin out by no gang. I'm talking about taking Franklin out with the cops or whatnot. Maybe she going to reach back out to Melanie. Like, it'll be a lot of shit. Was Melanie... I'm trying to think, I forgot. I was trying to think, was Melody and Wanda ever friends? But I think they were kinda. But I know, they had that whole situation when her and Wanda were getting high. But Leon doing what he doing as far as being by Wanda's side, that's the whole situation, man. And now you got Leon trying to get some get back. And this is where I go back to Leon and Franklin's relationship, because you got Franklin telling him, man, you can't just run up in the bottoms. You need to slow. And you got Leon just like, no, like he's always been. Like now, you can't, Franklin can't tell him shit now, because Leon got his own thing going on. But before I even dive on Leon the way I think some people will, And I don't think people gonna dive on Leon that hard because this is all on Franklin. Like I said, he told Franklin to stay out of the whole man, boy, and Scully shit. But you know, Franklin dealing with both of them, he was trying to. Well, not I'm gonna say that because he ended up choosing the side, but shit did fall through. Of course, like any other plan, when you got it in these type of shows, now you got Leon to defending himself, and he didn't even have nothing to do with the shit. So this is on Frank. This is all on Frank. And you see these repercussions coming back on Frank. Once again, I'm gonna get back to Leon. I want to just say, why this show, I'm enjoying this season a whole lot more than I have previous seasons, because when you have these comparisons, I don't want to hear people saying Power. Power is a fantasy drug drama. You didn't see real repercussions of what they were doing behind the scenes. Yeah, you seen the fallouts in their inner circle somewhat. Not really either, but somewhat. But with this show, now, because on the time, they was even saying like The Wire, and I said, no, you can't compare this to The Wire because it still had certain elements that wasn't realistic. Like the nigga was walking through Oakland with a bag of drugs, chilling. Franklin, you remember that shit? Was it season 1 or 2? Might have been 1. Was it 2? I can't remember, man. But you know what, Franklin was walking through Oakland looking to, trying to get his shit right because of the whole thing. It had to be season 2. It had to be season 2. And I'm like, how this nigga just walking through Oakland and he just walk up on somebody and they're like, we're going to take you to the flood. We're not going to try to rob you, nothing. Now, some of that shit just wasn't believable. And that's where I feel like now we're getting into that. I feel like last season they did it too, because they're showing the effects of what this shit having on the neighborhood, what Franklin has done, bringing crack into the neighborhood, and the effect of it. Then you got the whole thing with the violence, and now I want to get back to what I mean with Franklin and his bodyguard. And you got an old boy like, shit, I can't do this no more, man. I thought I could handle this. And he was telling him like the difference between the war that he was fighting overseas and the war that's killing your own people. Like, man, this is the shit I'm talking about. They are going there with this shit. They actually talking about it. The people that we loving about this, the people we love in this show, the characters that we cheer for, like Franklin, because they doing some grimy shit. And the show is calling them out. They're not praising them. And that's the credit you want to get this show. Now we getting into that Wire territory with the realisticness. Now we getting into that territory. Then this is where we come to with the whole Leon situation. And he's sitting out there in the car, man. The end of this episode, man. He's sitting out there in the car. And this is when I'm diving into this. This is showing you shit that happens. This ain't no fantasy. This wasn't no big old action scene. This the shit that happens. This shit that was happening is somewhat shit that's still happening. You got the situations in Chicago or whatnot, but as far as LA gang violence, especially in them days where what the time period that they based this show on, that shit was going on, nigga. It was on site. What? No, it's a kid in the car. It's a girl in the car. We ain't ready yet. No, nigga, you seen them. They pulled out. They knew that they was in the back seat. And what I'm talking about is, nigga, Leon. These niggas pull up beside each other in cars. You got Scully people. You got Leon, who was already sitting out there because they hired a private investigator and they've been stalking out Scully and where he been going. And you got two cars pull up on each other and they start blasting as soon as they see each other. Throw in the car like, is that Leon? The Scully people. Bam, 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 bam. Niggas just blasting each other in the car, and then Leon go around with the goddamn Uzi. They show you everything, man. That's the thing about this show. They went there. They showing you this nigga shooting and the bullets going through the back seat, and then he going to the back to finish him off, and he's sitting there in shock like all of us. The way Leon was looking and feeling in that last scene of this episode is the way we all were looking at. I'm standing there like, oh my God, no. Like you see the baby girl sitting there shot. Man. They went there. And this shit, this what happened. This is what was happening. That gang violence, people just Crips Bloods, they seeing you in LA. Nigga, what? No, you walking down the street, this and that, and the third, they all shooting you. And then you got the situations, like I said, in Chicago now with that whole drill scene and that shit was going, that shit is still somewhat going on. Then you got all these shootings going on in Atlanta or whatnot, man. It's just the way I'm just depicting of how this show is, because it's not no fantasy drama shit. No like Power. I enjoy Power. That's one of my favorite shows. 50 Cent. But the shit was a fantasy somewhat. It's a fantasy. That shit didn't have those type of repercussions. This right here is showing you those repercussions, not only behind the whole drug scene and what is the destruction it brings on the people in the neighborhood, but the violence it brings, the money, all that shit. And now you got these two gang wars going on, and now Franklin is right at the center of it. All of it. Franklin is right there at the center of it. Man, just credit to the writers of Snowfall, man, because like I said, I was a little worried, but like I said, John Singleton did not write a lot of these episodes. If not, he only wrote more. He only wrote for the first season. But people he brung in, though, that's his influence. And like I said, this is a guy that did Boys in the Hood, so he created the show with somebody else. But you see all of his, you see that John Singleton in this, man. And just shout out to the writers, like I said, man, because John Singleton didn't make like perfect movies all the time. Let's be clear, but the team he got for this, they doing their thing, especially this season, man. This season is off the chain, man. But that's basically my opinion and my review of Snowfall season 4, episode 4, man. This is one of the best episodes because it's a heartbreaking episode. It's a gut punching episode. I'm telling you, it takes your damn breath away by the end. You just sitting there looking at the credits, lost, because you still like, damn, this shit just happened. So just credit to Snowfall writers, FX, man. But like I said, that was my opinion on my review. Y'all leave y'all comments in the comment section, man. Let me know how y'all was feeling after this episode. I want to know how everybody was feeling at the end of this episode. What y'all think should happen to Leon? How y'all think Franklin gonna deal with Leon and the whole aftermath of this situation, man? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. This is the road to 100 subs, man. Shout out to all my subscribers, man. Shout out to everybody that's been viewing my videos, man. We out.
See what we can hit them.
Give me some reason to believe that we can make it out of this intact.